It's time for TWiG This Week in Google. Stacy's here, Jeff's here, Ant's here, the whole team's assembled. President Trump is suing Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We'll find out how ridiculous this lawsuit really is. The Pentagon is canceling its $10 billion JEDI contract, and Russian hackers have really topped themselves with this latest ransomware attack. It's all that and a lot more coming up on TWiG.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiG.
This is TWiG, This Week in Google, episode 619, recorded Wednesday, July 7th, 2021. YouTube regrets. This Week in Google is brought to you by Melissa. With the world starting to reopen, you want to make sure your customer data is up to date. Try Melissa's APIs in the developer portal. It's easy to log on, sign up, and start playing in the API sandbox 24/7. Get started today with 1,000 records cleaned for free at melissa.com/twit. And by Cashfly. Give your users the seamless online experience they want. Power your site or app with Cashfly's CDN and be 30% faster than the competition. Learn more at twit.cashfly.com. It's time for TWiG, This Week in Google, the show where we cover everything there is to know about Google and elsewhere. Stacey Higginbotham's here. She's our IoT and chip guru. From Stacy on IoT.com at GigaStacy on the Twitter. Hello there, Stacy.
Hello. And I should tell you, just a couple of days ago, I tweeted my NanoLeaf setup, so we'll find that at some point and show it to you.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
Ooh.
You know, our new, they call it a PoE. It's our
Power over Ethernet?
No, actually, that is one of the things for it. I can't remember what it stands for. It's our new HR payroll system. It's Insperity. They call their software Higginbotham.
Because it sounds like something you could, like a butler you can order
like
around.
Jarvis, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Higginbotham. Crank out the payroll.
Jarvis, put the hot dogs on the grill.
I thought that was the funniest thing ever.
Oh, so now you actually have a Jarvis and a Higginbotham.
Yes.
Now you just need a Pruitt.
Yeah.
Yes, if they would come up with something that's called Pruitt. What would the Pruitt software do? That's Ant Pruitt. He's a host of Hands On Photography, regular on this show, and a good man all around. Good man to have
I try.
all round. Despite the fact that he works out in black socks, I'm not going to mention it. I'm not going to talk about it. It's just weird. I was talking about that with Lisa this morning because I now have a drawer full of white socks. We both bought bought me some white socks, so I now have a lifetime supply. And I remember when I was a kid in junior high, they said you're not allowed to wear anything but white socks to gym class.
Yep.
And they implied that it would somehow poison you if you wore dark socks. It's not right.
Well, the black socks craze came back in the 90s, way back in the day.
Oh, interesting.
With the Fab Five Michigan basketball team.
Oh.
Fab freshmen. They wore black socks and they wanted to wear long, short pants. So that was their style. And I jumped on that bandwagon and I've just been wearing black socks.
Oh, that's cool. So it's actually thought out.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating.
And now I feel weird if I wear gray or white socks.
I feel old when I wear it. Like I'm in the 50s, like I'm the Fonz or something when I'm wearing white socks. It's like
well, some of us make it look good. So.
You rock those white socks. You rock them. Also with us, Mr. Jeff Jarvis. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Leonard Tao Professor for Journalistic Innovation at the
Greg
Newmark Graduate School of Journalism at the City University.
We need to reverse this.
We just never get that right.
I put my new socks. I just put it in the chat there. I have new socks too.
You have Gutenberg socks.
Gutenberg socks. Yeah.
But do they say? Let me see here. They say Gutenberg on them.
Nice.
In a very nice.
Oh, those are nice.
From the University of Texas,
Gothic script.
I have seen their Gutenberg Bible on many occasions.
Oh,
I used
really?
to live across the street from it.
Is it famous? Oh,
Yes.
wow.
It's one of two intact Gutenbergs.
Yeah, Yale had one at the Beinecke Library, but I don't think they sold socks to go with it.
See, I'd work out in those socks.
These are nice because they're both black and white. You get the best of both worlds.
I dig it.
Okay. That's black letter, right?
So this is the first TWiG in history, I think, in which we're starting the show with an absolutely empty Google box.
Is there nothing in the Google
There's
box?
nothing in the Google box.
It's blank.
There's Google stuff elsewhere, but there's nothing in the Google box. It is empty.
Well, that tells you something. There is a change log. We'll get to that.
I went looking.
And Google is involved in our
sued.
top story. There's what?
Yes, there's
soup.
They're getting sued.
Oh yeah, by the president. Trump sues.
There's that too.
Well, and what's weird is it's a class action lawsuit. Twitter, Facebook, and Google, plus CEOs Mark Zuckerberg, Jack Dorsey, and Sundar Pichai for banning him. And you have to read Tech Dirt's take on this.
Yeah.
Mike Masnick, always
Masnick.
great. It can always get dumber. That's the department. Trump sues, claiming his own government violated the Constitution. It's a lawsuit in the state of Florida. Count one.
Of course. Where else would it
Where
be?
else? Count one says that Twitter, Facebook, and Google's YouTube removing Trump from their platforms violates the First Amendment, which, of course, constitutional scholars or even some dim bulbs who've just read the damn thing will note that the Constitution only forbids the government from making any law to abridge free speech. So unless somehow... Well, actually, a little later in the suit, he does kind of assert that Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube are the government.
Right.
Which is...
Because on the basis of Section 230, which is what he wants to remove by the suit.
Yeah. He says that these private companies violated his First Amendment rights by conspiring with the government he led at the time to deplatform him. I mean, this will be immediately thrown out, but of course there's...
Will it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The judges will. Just as the judge threw out or at least the Florida thing put out a temporary injunction.
And that's not the point. He got what he wanted, which is exactly what we're doing right now, which is media attention.
And fundraising.
Yeah.
Because immediately emails went out to all the donors saying, help, President Trump fight the good fight. And it's a good way to make money. The second claim says that it wants declaratory judgment that Section 230, our much revered Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, is itself, it's not Communications Decency Act, it's Telecommunications.
Well, this is the funny thing. In the suit, they call it the Community Decency Act, when it is, in fact, the Community Decency Act. Jeff Kossoff and I traded this on Twitter, and I said, well, of course, I have argued for a long time
it is the community.
Is community.
Yeah. They claim that it's unconstitutional in censoring plaintiff and the class. Defendants relied upon and acted pursuant to Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. Defendants would not have deplatformed plaintiff or similarly situated putative class members, but for the immunity purportedly offered by Section 230. It might have been, in fact, quite the opposite, as Mike Masnick on Tector points out, because had these companies not had immunity from lawsuits, they might have banned them faster.
Yes.
Not slower, faster.
Faster.
Back to the, as Mike Masnick calls it, lol suit.
God bless Mike. I love Mike. He's the greatest.
Let's see. By the way, and this was the argument in favor of Florida's social media moderation law, and that, of course, was thrown out of court. Well, at least there was an injunction.
Well, it was first laughed at in court, and then
let's see. There's a ton of other garbage, writes Mac, mostly performative throat clearing. None of that really matters beyond the two laughably dumb claims. Mike writes, I did want to call out a few really, really stupid points, though. In the Twitter lawsuit, Trump's lawyers misleadingly cite the Knight First Amendment Institute's suit against Trump for blocking users. This is a suit they won, because they said the president can't block users on Twitter if he's going to use his account to make official statements. In the pleadings, Trump's attorneys wrote, in Biden versus Knight, the Supreme Court discussed, wasn't the court, as Mike points out, it was Clarence Thomas, discussed the Second Circuit's decision holding that plaintiff's threads on Twitter from his personal account were, in fact, official presidential statements made in a public forum. Likewise, President Trump would discuss government activity in Twitter in his official capacity. So what's weird is in the Knight case, President Trump's argument was that his Twitter account was not his official account, was his personal account. That was his argument for saying, I need to be able to block people because it's my personal account.
Mm-hmm. Now he's saying,
he says, oh, no,
this was my official government.
This is my government account. Point being, he's a private citizen now. I think he might have had a case when he was president, but he's not now. He's a private citizen, and I can't
What case
imagine.
would he have had? What case would he possibly have had? There's no compelled speech.
I guess, yeah, in fact, that would be a violation of the First Amendment.
Yes.
If the federal government said you cannot ban
You
the
must
president.
carry this.
Yeah.
You must carry government speech.
Yeah, that's right. These are private companies. That's a good point.
So he says in clause 82, it goes on a very long time, folks. He said that relying on the permissive language of Section 230 and statements of actions of Democrat legislators, those legislators made it clear they had a strong preference for censoring the views of For example, COVID-19, air quotes, misinformation, including the lack of safety and efficacy of hydroxychloroquine and the use of face masks. COVID-19 originated in the Wuhan province of China, was a transmission from scientists in a government, and questioning the integrity and results of the 2020 presidential election.
Oh, he actually got that in too.
He did.
He got it all in. It's the greatest hits. It's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, it's
the greatest misinformation hits.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, so there you go. There's the lawsuit. You tweeted about it a little bit, Jeff, earlier today. I love it that they called it the Community Decency Act.
Yeah. He said, paragraph 51, the comments generated by plaintiff's Facebook posts also give rise to important public discussion and debate about government policy. Typically, his posts would generate thousands of replies posted by users, some of which would generate hundreds or thousands of replies in return, all of them, of course, incredibly intelligent. President Trump's account was a digital town hall in which the president of the United States communicated, we need some music here, communicated news and information to the public directly. Members of the public used the reply function to respond directly to President Trump and his office.
None of that's untrue. That's all true. That's exactly true. I don't know how it protects his...
Well, it's just a ridiculous characterization.
It's not untrue. I mean, that's how the
there was
president,
a discussion of policy, but
well, yeah, there was. I mean, he might not have read it, but there certainly was in response to it.
That's stupid. No, that's stupid.
Untrue, but I don't think it makes any difference in terms of whether a private company can say anybody. Nobody has the right, even the former president of the United States, to have an account on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. No. I mean, I don't know how you can. How any government...
Compelled speech is not free speech.
Yeah. So it's just a complete misunderstanding of, I guess, the Constitution. But we'll see what the courts do with this. There is a slap loss law on the books in Florida. So that might allow Twitter. It'd be very interesting if Twitter, Facebook, and Google or their respective CEOs countersued, asking for legal costs.
Well, first,
why would you engage? I would want nothing, nothing to do
Your
with
Honor.
that.
Really?
Yeah, first the corporate lawyers have to stop laughing on Zoom.
Yeah.
And then figure out what to do.
By the way, the president's team did launch a new social network. I didn't mention it last week.
Which the former president, please?
The former president, Getter, Gettr, launched by one of his former spokespeople, Jason Miller, immediately hacked. I mean, literally, the day it launched.
It got compromised?
It got compromised. Really? The day it launched, And then, shortly after, information about all of the account holders was exfiltrated.
Oh, boy.
So maybe they want to work on their security a little bit. Parler got hacked, remember. Twitter's been hacked, but not quite so dramatically, and certainly not on its first day.
Not on its first day?
Yeah.
Jeez.
In other tech...
Well, on Twitter's first day, it just was down for most of it.
Yeah,
oh,
right.
yeah, fail whale.
The fail whale. On Twitter's first day, nobody knew
Touche.
about it. That's the
Touche,
real.
Stacey.
That's the real truth. Twitter took a little while to take off. All right, moving right along. Pentagon has canceled the JEDI cloud contract. This was another somewhat political decision. The Pentagon needed a new secure cloud for all the branches of the service, all the different services. They bid it out. Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and Oracle all tried. I think, did Walmart try to get in on this too? I don't know. Everybody tried to get in on it. Eventually, it was awarded to Microsoft. Amazon promptly sues, saying the former president, had his thumb on the scale because he didn't like Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
And it's taken so long now because of the suits that the Pentagon just threw up its hands and said, you know what, forget it. It's just dragging out. So we're going to try something else, which they should have tried in the first place, which is a multi-cloud solution.
Oh, well, no. Okay, saying you should do multi-cloud in the first place from going to your own disparate systems instead of to one cloud, that's like saying, you know what, instead of for my first house, I'm going to buy a house. I instead am going to buy an entire apartment complex, live in it, manage it, and offer the first floor as
yeah, but it is the
space.
Pentagon, and I think they probably have the resources to buy a bigger house.
They have the money. They don't have the expertise.
Well, that's why. And in fact, wouldn't you prefer that instead of having just Microsoft or just Google or just Amazon doing it, having the best minds from three companies? No?
I have seen so many in the years I have covered cloud computing. I have seen many a good company try to build their own cloud and fail utterly. It's very hard. But go for it, Pentagon. And just because in many companies are like, I am IBM, I can do it. They cannot.
Well, the new JWCC, which I'm trying to find what that acronym is, Joint Warfighter Cloud Capability.
Oh, God.
Will be a multi-vendor contract this time. They're going to bid it out again.
Yes.
And they said... Actually, Google's been left out. They said they're going to ask for proposals from both Amazon and Microsoft, saying they're the only cloud service providers that can meet its needs. So it maybe have to.
So basically, Amazon threw a tantrum, and they're like, "Fine, just do it this way. This is our government's problem. We don't stick to our guns." Ugh. Sorry, I just
depends on how you say that.
Well, yeah, okay.
Microsoft said that the legal fight over the JEDI contract was evidence that their reform was needed in the process.
I mean, I hate agreeing with Microsoft, but dang, I agree with Microsoft.
They won the process. So
even they knew what a mess it was.
Yeah.
They were like, this is going to suck.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
So it's a big contract, $1 billion a year contract for 10 years. I don't know what the JWCC dollar amount will be, but it's a big, important contract. Amazon stock up, Microsoft stock down on the news. But it could be for other things. Could be for lots of things. We don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a big deal, but AWS revenue.
Have you seen any big changes in Amazon over the last couple of days? Because Jeff Bezos is no longer CEO. Andy Jassy's in charge. It's a different company. Actually, one of the things, right before Jeff Bezos stepped down on Monday, they did add a couple of more bullet points to their leadership principles, which maybe were designed to make it seem like a more responsible and caring company. The new leadership principles strive to be the Earth's best employer And
that's new.
Yeah, that's new. Success and scale bring broad responsibility. The new principles require employees to take into account the well-being of their coworkers and society beyond the company's walls when making decisions. They also address persistent criticisms of the company as a bruising workplace and inconsiderate corporate citizen. This was something Bezos kind of alluded to in his last shareholder letter. But I think this is a response to the criticism Amazon's been getting. And I wonder if this is something Andy Jassy had a hand in.
But didn't I also see a story from Bezos debunking the whole work-life balance thought and basically called it a fallacy?
You can't have both. And by the way, I'm taking my money and I'm going into space. Bye-bye.
Yep, see you.
That's how you find work-life balance. You quit. Yeah, I don't know. I think
and this was within a week.
It's widely considered that Amazon is a well-run company from the corporate governance point of view, but I think there's also a lot of thought that maybe it's not the best company for its employees. So
at least they're discussing it. That's a good
it's good
start.
to add that to your principles. Yeah.
So now let's just get the ball rolling and have some action on it.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what Andy Jassy does with Amazon. I imagine it's hold the course, but at some point.
So the stock went up like mad, and that's not because it was Bezos' last day. That the stock market thinks at least 2 days ahead. I don't know why. I couldn't. The government contract, it's not that valuable.
Can't be. No, it isn't that valuable. I don't know. I don't understand the stock market. As Stacey knows.
Nobody does.
Stacey knows that I believe it's disconnected from reality. But that's
I don't think it's, I think you're probably right. And but I can't believe that it's totally divorced from reality. But I could be wrong.
Well, now that Reddit has arrived, it's totally divorced from reality.
I think it always was. It's the.
I think it's less Reddit and more the fact that young people can trade stocks easily on Robinhood. Now that stock
don't blame young
become
people. Come on.
Yeah.
You can blame Warren Buffett just as much.
Democratization of stock trading.
Maybe. I don't. Yeah. I guess that's when you look at GameStop and AMC and the diamond hands on Reddit, that maybe that is because it got cheaper and easier to trade.
Those meme stonks.
Let's take a little break, and then we'll go to the empty Google section.
Where we sit in silence.
I looked like 4 or 5 times. I went back to search Google News for news on Google, and the cupboard was bare.
Weekend. There's just not a lot.
There's not a lot of news for any of the shows.
No, Stacey, this is just proving Leo's point last week that Google's now boring.
By the way, Robinhood has filed for an IPO. If you want to talk a little bit about Robinhood, and this is according to the Wall Street. What?
Ant was producing
during the break. We'll read this article.
The filing, which was released on Thursday, Robinhood disclosed that 81% of its revenue in the first quarter came from sending its customers stock, options, and cryptocurrency orders to high-speed trading firms. In other words, they got payment for order flow. That's because remember, Robinhood doesn't charge you a commission for trading. They have to make money somewhere. But PFOF, which is an excellent acronym, payment for order flow, PFOF, makes it possible for Robinhood.
FOF.
The
Germans would say, as they say in the German, FOF.
FOF. Lets customers place trade with no upfront commission payments. And that's one of the ways they get younger, less affluent customers. It's the standard practice now at many competitors because Robinhood set the bar. Payment for order flow critics, including Security and Exchange Commission Chairman Gary Gensler, don't like the practice. They say it poses a conflict of interest for brokerages because the brokers can either collect more money for selling their customers' order flow or pass that money on to customers in the form of price savings on their trades. I've always heard that one of the problems with using Robinhood is they make money on the spread, but I guess really where they make money is PFOF and the order payment for order flow. So interesting. We're learning.
Let me just understand. Payment for order flow is telling people what's been ordered.
No.
On a timely basis? No.
I take your order for a stock, and then I offer it to somebody, a trader. But what I do is I say, well, who's going to give me the most money for this order? And Stacy says, I'll give you $1 for it. And that's where I make my money. Yeah, it's kind of like kayak.
Yeah.
The problem is,
why does Stacy take that order?
Where does that money come from? Well, my opinion, and I may be wrong on this, correct me please, is it comes from the spread. So these high-speed trading firms maybe don't have the most advantageous spread from the point of view of the person buying the stock. You know, if I go to a white shoe financial broker, they'll give me a price. When I sell my stock, they'll say, okay, you made $1 a share, but I may only make 50 cents a share from another trader. And if Robinhood is choosing the trader that pays them the most money, it's likely they're also choosing the trader that has the worst spread from the point of view of the consumer.
So it's a trading desk for trades.
Yeah. And so you may say as a consumer, well, hey, this is great, no commission, but the price you're getting, the price you're paying for a stock or the price you're getting paid when you sell a stock is not going to be as good as it should be because they're getting the price from one of these.
But is that
traders.
Increment that you're losing more than the commission was? I don't know.
Oh, that's an interesting question.
That's a good question.
That's your real calculation.
Well, it's less of a huge spread thing and more of a scale thing, and being able the bigger your chunks, because the big trading firms, they have to move. They don't trade in small like 10 shares, right? They're aggregating and moving.
Right.
So I feel like there's an advantage to them to do.
PFOF is illegal in the UK. There are countries that ban it because for a variety of reasons. It is not illegal currently in the United States, although some Democrats on Capitol Hill are considering making it illegal. Prohibiting PFOF might force, says the Journal, might force some brokerages to abandon zero commission trading. I think, the issue is if you're buying 1 million shares for $35 commission, or you're buying one share for $35 commission, that makes a big difference. And the spread makes a much bigger difference for you if you're trading a lot of shares. I don't know.
Well, yes, the more so I just found an entire paper called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of Payment for Order Flow.
Oh.
It came out in May from...
So I'm going to do an ad while you read that and report back.
Oh, really?
Ms. Higginbotham, your assignment, should you choose to accept it, is to explain why PFOF could be good or bad.
Or at least read that handy first paragraph.
Yeah,
as she sighs.
It's more than any of us
on
would do.
page 8. Hold on.
Oh, you're way beyond anything we would do.
Payment for order flow has existed for decades, says the Journal. The SEC has reviewed the practice several times and allowed it to continue. To date, they've accepted the argument put forward by many brokers and traders that sending retail orders to high-speed traders benefits small investors. Proponents of PFOF say investors save money when their orders are routed to such trading firms compared to what they'd get at exchanges like the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ. Huh. It's
interesting. They're actually talking about it being becoming part of a pool of what they call unpublished liquidity. That means that people don't understand the actual cost of buying and selling the stock.
Yeah, it hides
so then
that. Right.
These people get kind of an information advantage.
Oh,
that's what I was thinking. Yes.
Yeah, high-speed traders, the smallest advantage can make a huge difference, right? Oh, that's interesting.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is beyond my paper.
Now you know.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a, but I can send a link to the paper to somebody if they want it.
Somebody, because Leo's not going to read it.
I'm going on vacation in 5 days. I don't care.
No, you don't. No.
I'll read it on the beach. Yeah, send it to me. I'll read it when I go to Hawaii. I need something to read.
I don't believe this.
Ladies and gentlemen, our show today brought to you by Melissa, the address experts. With the world starting to reopen, it might be time to get reacquainted with your customers. But in the year of the quarantine, 30% of that customer data has now gone bad. Names change, addresses, emails, phone numbers. Stop throwing your money away. Let Melissa help you. People love Melissa with a renewal rate of over 92%. Companies obviously value what Melissa does, and so will you. Melissa makes sure your data is accurate and current so you reach the right customers. Their tools have helped businesses maintain fresh data now for 35 years. Over 10,000 businesses trust the address experts. It starts with Melissa's global address verification service, which can verify addresses for 240 plus countries and territories. You can even do it at the point of entry. They've got an API so that you can actually add it to your own software. So when your customer service rep or your customer himself is entering that data, you can verify it. And not just addresses, emails, phone numbers, and names. And if you're tired of having duplicate customer information in your database, that costs you money, sending out multiple catalogs, that kind of thing. Melissa's data matching can help you eliminate clutter and duplicates and increase the accuracy of your database, plus save you money. Plus, you'll get information that completes your customer profiles better. Add public information like marital status or social media handles. Melissa's flexible deployment options offer different platforms to suit any preference. You can get it on-prem, of course. You can get it as a web service. There's SaaS delivery. They even have a secure FTP site you can upload and download. And by the way, check out the new lookup apps from Melissa on iOS and Android, which will help you search addresses, names, and more right at your fingertips. Don't worry. Whenever you use Melissa, your data is 100% safe. They continually undergo independent security audits because they are committed to your data's privacy, security, and of course, they know you've got compliance requirements, so they're compliant with SOC 2, HIPAA, GDPR. And if you sign up for their service level agreement, which I recommend, you'll also get their amazing 24/7 world-famous support. Melissa is supporting communities and individuals, essential workers during COVID-19. Your organization could qualify for 6 months of free service. Just apply online at melissa.com. And congratulations to Melissa. Named a leader in address verification and data quality in the spring 2021 G2 Crowd Report. Good job, Melissa. Bottom line, make sure your customer contact data is up to date. It's eroding as we speak. Try Melissa's APIs in the developer portal. Log in, sign up, start playing in the API sandbox 24/7. Get started today with 1,000 records cleaned for free. Melissa, Melissa, melissa.com/twit. It's a really nice API too. melissa.com/twit. We thank them so much for their support of This Week in Google. Let's see.
Wow, Robinhood earned 75% of their income from PFOF.
Well, they're
according to their S1.
It's now 81% in the last quarter, so it's even more. Yeah, that was the headline in that journal story. 81%. So that's how they make. Well, I mean, they don't charge commission, so they've got to make money somehow.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think this is a
Bernie
complicated
Madoff
subject.
came up with this thing.
Oh, then you know it's bad.
Well, no.
Bernie Madoff came up with PFOFs?
PFOF, yeah, apparently.
No kidding.
Man, oh geez.
That is not a
That
high
has
recommendation.
cooties.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got another idea.
So there you
Wow.
go. That was one of his.
Wow.
The practice of PFOF began decades ago, was mainstreamed by the controversial figure Bernie Madoff himself, who once justified paying retail brokers by comparing the practice to hiring salespeople on commission to bring order flow to a broker.
Deal flow's everything, as my wife continually tells me.
Oh, crap on a cracker.
Kaseya. That's what they're saying. That's what all the MSPs who use Kaseya are saying right now. Crap on a cracker. Kaseya is the latest supply chain attack. We talked about it yesterday on Security Now. This is Kaseya, which provides monitoring services for managed service providers who provide IT services for small businesses. We use a managed service provider, for instance. Means that this is a great leverage point, because if you can get these managed service providers, you get into each of their customers, you might get hundreds per MSP. The CEO of Kaseya estimates anywhere from 800 to 1,500 people have been ransomwared so far. The biggest, most notable supermarket, Swedish supermarket chain Coop, or is it Coop, closed 800 stores because they couldn't accept any money because their cash registers were down. This is the REvil ransomware gang. If you're interested in this stuff, Steve goes into this in detail. This week, he talks a lot about the Kaseya and REvil. Next week, he's going to talk about some of their software, the actual encryption software. He's going to do a deep dive, which will be very interesting.
What does he recommend for protection? I know we've talked about this before where you're kind of screwed, but is there anything that these companies... Yeah.
There is no magic bullet in security, and he talks about this. It's a layered process. Having a great backup is certainly a start, but it's not the only thing. Training your employees, you got to do that too. And honestly, a lot of times the problem really is the IT department knows what to do, but they're not well funded. It's a cost center from the point of view of the board and the executives, and they just underfund them. They don't take it seriously enough until they get bit. Maybe now they're going to start taking it a little bit more seriously. And then sometimes it's just
the executive order. Sorry.
Go ahead.
The executive order that Biden signed May 12th is something that's going to apply to some of these cases. So this was their effort to, what's the word I'm looking for?
He created a task force, right?
No, he actually signed an executive order that is going to require people to, so it requires NIST and CISA they have 90 days to come up, the executive order takes effect 90 days from May 12th when he issued it, but they have up to a year to come up with policies to prevent supply chain attacks in software as a result of SolarWinds. And so some of the things, now what's unclear, or there are lots of things that are unclear, but one of the things that's kind of a little wonky about it is from the day the order was adopted, so May 12th, your stuff has to be compliant, but we don't actually know all the rules yet. Like even NIST just actually released some crucial definitions just last week. Anyway,
some of this is reporting requirements, which really is a big part of it. It's like the breach reporting requirements that GDPR introduced. A lot of times people don't want to admit this is happening, and that lack of information really allows this stuff to spread a lot farther, a lot faster. So some of this is you have to report if you are breached. Service providers need to collect information. This is good. I'm looking at the order. I mean, it's just an executive order, and so there's some question about how much can be done by executive.
Is this
order.
like the whole Sarbanes-Oxley movement from 15 years ago?
Yeah, a little bit, huh? Yeah. He also, part of the order was modernizing federal government cybersecurity because they've been bit in the past by supply chain. SolarWinds, hit a lot of cabinet level departments. So, there's definitely stuff that needs to be done. I think it's more than an executive order, but it's certainly it's a start.
From what I remember with SOX was the whole audit scare. Where I worked at, it seems like we were always dealing with some auditor and was going to face X amount of dollars if this wasn't in compliance and yada, yada, yada. So it's just, it scared the crap out of the company.
Reporting requirements, yeah.
Well, these things will have consequences, but I would argue that, they implemented, of course, you're getting around SOX now by implementing SPACs. So I'm kind of like, are we going to adapt? Yes. But this is going to be a good thing overall because it does encourage defense in depth. There's some things in here that could lead to adoption of software bills of materials. There's a lot to like here.
Biden is meeting with officials of Kaseya to talk about this. Kaseya, and this is actually the most shocking thing, was told of the cybersecurity flaw in April and did nothing. And
see, that should be illegal.
They need to.
Yeah. Now it will be.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a managed service provider, that is literally your job. I mean,
break it down for her.
They were told about this April 6th by the Dutch Institute for Vulnerability Disclosure. Kaseya declined to comment on the timeline. But I think that it's pretty clear that they were told about it, and did they work on patching it? Because they say that they responded once they were notified and worked quickly to issue 2 patches, one in April and one in May, but they weren't enough. And,
okay, then they tried.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird because they are literally a patch management.
I know.
That's what they do.
Ironic.
I'm like, if anyone, you're like, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Biden is going to meet with senior officials today to discuss this deluge of ransomware attacks. You remember he brought it to Putin during their summit, during their non-summit summit, saying, we got to work out a deal not to attack infrastructure. It's unclear how much the Russian government has to do with these attacks, although many of them do come from criminal groups operating within their borders. Republican National Committee yesterday disclosed that one of its contractors had been breached by hackers, but that no data was accessed. Hackers affiliated with the SVR, Russia's foreign intelligence service, are believed to be responsible for that breach. So it is getting bad out there. I encourage you, if you're interested in this stuff, to listen to our Security Now show, because we deal with this a lot in great detail.
And it's kind of, what we're getting to is the ability to destroy basic infrastructure without having to spend billions on.
It's the new warfare.
Tanks or
yeah.
I was reading. There was a fun article in Foreign Policy this weekend about artificial intelligence on drones. So basically, Turkey, I think, just killed some people by flying a drone, a weaponized drone that actually targeted people using AI as opposed to having a human in the loop.
Oh, that's
so
bad.
They took the human out of the loop for the first time. And that's a pretty significant step.
Yeah.
And that brings that kind of, the consumerization of technology brings that to like anybody. But I don't know if there's like, a treaty's not going to help there because there's enough people who would pay for that. It's kind of like arms dealers and how they live in this like gray area. I don't know.
And how do you feel about Instagram saying we're no longer a photo sharing app?
I'm okay with it, but there's quite a lot of people in the photography community that's a little bit concerned, and I get it. But at the same time, I get it where Instagram is coming from as well, because things are changing and you see the prowess that TikTok has. It's got Mr. Jarvis hooked on it, so it
must be good, right?
It's those musicals, and it's the musicals.
I deleted
Not just
my
the photos;
TikTok.
it's the soundtrack.
Me too. That's why I deleted it, because it's a time sink. It's seductive.
But that's the
Adam
thing,
Mosseri,
though.
the CEO of Instagram, posted an Instagram video. He said, how people connect with their close friends has changed a lot over the last 5 years or so, and has moved primarily to messaging and away from feed and stories projects. He says, I want to start by saying we're no longer a photo sharing app or a Square photo sharing app. They use Instagram. People use Instagram to be entertained.
That's the phrase
TikTok,
right there.
Right? So, because let's be honest, there's some really serious competition out right now. TikTok is huge. YouTube is even bigger, and there's lots of other upstarts as well. I think some of this goes back to the original founders of Instagram leaving when after Facebook bought them. Kevin Systrom and company stayed there for a while, but left not so long ago. Adam Mosseri, who's a Facebook guy, was put in charge. This clearly is Facebook's agenda now. Instagram was started by photography lovers. It was about sharing photos, but they're gone. And now it's Facebook's agenda, right? And Facebook's agenda is TikTok's huge. What are we going to do?
Yeah, and
That's
things
right.
change.
Things
Right?
change,
Things
but I don't
change.
know. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with having a photo sharing app that people love. I don't think that there's anything wrong with Instagram. I think Instagram is being changed because of Facebook's corporate need to attack a competitor, not because its audience is demanding, you can't, no, these photos, they're so boring.
I don't think the audience is demanding it. I think that's what the audience is showing. If you look at the average person, and apparently they've done it in their analytics.
Well, they say they have. Yeah, I don't buy it.
Scrolling through. I can walk through and look at the users here in my home when they're on Instagram. They are literally just flip. I hardly ever see them stop unless it's a video.
But why make Instagram into a TikTok clone? You know, that's what you got TikTok for.
Why should we stop printing our newspaper? People like the newspaper. They like the smell of it. They like the feel of it. What's this internet thing? No.
No, I'm not saying. Look, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that in my opinion, Facebook is modifying this for its own commercial purposes. They're worried about competition from TikTok, not because the users are demanding it. They're saying there's hand waving saying, "Oh, the users are demanding it." But I think that Instagram is a great photo sharing app. Why turn it into TikTok?
You can still share photos there. Now you can do something.
That's the thing. They didn't say they're not going to have photos available to be shared on there. Sorry about my voice. You still can post your photos in 4x5 or a square image if you want to, but where Instagram's going to make its money is for people stopping and engaging on your video content, your motion content.
So there's an opportunity then for somebody to create a new Instagram, I would say.
Well, that's what
Flickr was so successful. Right? We've gone through this before, Leo. We loved Flickr.
Isn't that what Flickr's for?
And Flickr wasn't a sustainable business. And it got screwed up
because of Instagram, I think.
But now
Instagram dominated the photo sharing space completely.
Twitter is starting to see a growth in the photography community. You know how Twitter gives you those different hashtags and groups to follow and things like that. And I'm seeing more and more people going there and engaging and basically saying, you know what, I like this better than my experience in Instagram because of the engagement here about my photos. And it's not necessarily just people just thumbing through and saying, nice shot. There's more of an engagement for them. I'm not seeing that yet, but I can't say I've put a lot of effort in photography on the Twitter side, but I'm just a small Instagram account.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a dog in this hunt either, so I don't really care, but I think Instagram had a lot to be said for it. And it's slowly over time, especially since the Facebook acquisition, turned into really an advertising vehicle. They've increased the number of ads now. It used to be, every 9th image. Now it seems to be every
That's why they got bought, because
I think with Instagram, it all depends on what the user's goals are from a photographer standpoint. If your goals are to just show off your stuff for the family, then it may be fine. If your goals are to try to drive business, then you may want to rethink using Instagram to drive business and start to work the algorithm, if you will. I look at my feed and I have a mix of photos and a mix of videos. And sometimes those videos have nothing to do with photography. A lot of times the videos are just stuff of my family, usually something of the hardheads and their achievements. But those things get a lot of engagement, even though my use of Instagram is all about being a digital content creator, Yeah.
So I just put up a great, Casey Newton says, every U.S. social network is tripping over itself to copy TikTok. And TikTok is just like LinkedIn. They just put up a new thing here. I put it on the chat. Resumes on TikTok.
Yeah.
So Ben Thompson talks a little bit about this, and he says TikTok has been tough for Facebook and Instagram to respond to for 3 reasons. First, if Instagram has been defined by sharing moments, TikTok has been about manufacturing them with easy-to-use tools that commoditize creation. I'd agree 100% with that. Yeah. He says also TikTok has defined a new format, which is something different than a scrollable feed or even tappable stories, both of which Instagram has. Swipeable videos that are a meld of both. TikTok provides both an endless feed and a full-screen immersive experience that's easily navigable. I'd agree. They solved that one. But I think the biggest one of all, he says, TikTok isn't really a social network at all.
No.
Which freed the service to surface the most compelling content from anywhere in the world. Most of the time you spent until you deleted it, Stacy, was probably not on the people you followed, but on the For You page.
Never,
right?
Yeah, it was on the For You page, just watching random stuff.
Yeah, random stuff the algorithm picked for you. It's not. In other words, it's not a social network. It's an entertainment network, and it does it really well. I mean, it demonstrates that the YouTube model, which is you get everybody to make content for you, then you use an algorithm to surface the most appealing content, the stickiest content. It took that and made it, I mean, really weaponized it with short clips.
Well, and it added in the important layer of collaboration, which is social. It's social brought to a new level. I see
less collaboration than I used to, though. Did you notice that?
I think that's what you click on. Like, I see still lots of collaboration. I mean, yes, it's probably less, but...
As far as TikTok? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah, the collabs have started to fade away. I think people...
I still see them.
Yeah, I mean, I see them, but not nearly as much. And maybe it is the algorithm and it's what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, my
it's hard to collaborate with naked women, Leo. I mean,
I try. I do my best.
He wants to collaborate.
I do my best. Don't want to. Hey, honey, you want to collaborate? Is that the kid? What the kids call it?
Collab.
So TikTok, the TikTok resume feature is bizarre. It's designed to let candidates creatively and authentically showcase their skill sets and experiences. It's going to have
kind of brilliant in a way.
I guess so. It's good.
I think it depends on the hiring person.
Yeah. Are you open-minded?
They're working with Chipotle, Target, and Spotify.
And I bet they're working to hire a certain type of social media or engagement person too.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, and if you're looking for somebody under 25, best place to look. Where are they? They live in TikTok, right?
We should, as a journalist, it just occurs to me, just as a journalism school, we should allow you to submit your essay on TikTok.
Here is TikTok's do's and don'ts of TikTok resumes.
Have clothes on.
Yeah. Hi, I'd like to apply for a job. Come on, play for me. No, it's not playing.
Open the terminal.
This is TikTokresumes.com.
And it's cruel.
I can open it in the terminal. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, wait a minute. Let me refresh the page, see if I can get it to do it.
If I were a CIO...
Hi, I'm Christian, and my entrepreneurial spirit led me to creating my own major at Berkeley, specializing in human-centered design and product development. In 2018, I participated at the European Innovation Academy, and alongside a global team of 5, we launched SmartCap, your hydrating assistant smart water bottle.
So basically, they created the most boring TikToks ever.
Yeah, and I don't think they're actually gonna be on TikTok. I think they're going to be in this special.
Is what you send to your
but I kind of get this.
Hi, my name is Tremanda. Here's a few reasons why you should hire me. I'll get the job done.
It's a generational thing, in my opinion.
Right way.
Yes.
I've been a TikTok creator since 2018. In 2020, I became a TikTok college representative for Spelman College, where I attend as an engineering major. I love to create art.
That's kind of cool. I mean, I kind of get this. Here's the do's and don'ts. Let's see if we can get this to work here. Do's and don'ts.
Hi, I'd like to apply for a job. Here's my resume. Crayon. Try TikTok instead. Sweet. Let's power up your job search by crafting the perfect...
Maybe we should do ad sales on TikTok.
I like what you'd be a great asset for the company.
Hi, my name is Leo. I have a podcast network. I'm looking for people who want to buy ads.
The eyeballs are there.
Yeah. Maybe I should do that.
If I were a CIO and I'm looking for a developer,
a certain type of person,
right, to build an in-house custom application for the company, I'm probably not going to look at TikTok. If I were, a hiring representative at Adobe that's looking for someone to help synergize the product and work with promotion and things like that, that makes sense.
If you're looking for a young person with a certain kind of skill set,
hold up though, because this is. I'm just throwing this out there. If you're one of those people who's focused on culture fit, or you don't want to hire older people, or you don't want to hire Black people, this is going to be harder to avoid. I mean, if you've got biases, you're going to be like, well, I don't want this person. They're ugly.
Yep.
So that is something I'm like, oh, I don't know. I mean, obviously we don't have blind hiring in the US today, so it doesn't matter. But just throwing that out there is like,
but I can remember the days of doing resumes, because I don't remember the last time I did a resume, but the story was to make your resume stand out from the rest of them out there. I tend to remember people having the taboo of using like canary yellow paper and stuff like that, just because they wanted it to stand out. And I guess this is just another iteration of that for people trying to get into the workforce. I don't know.
Yeah.
It all just seems like generational to me.
Instead of, it's more like a cover letter, not a resume, right? So your resume is supposed to be.
Okay, that makes more sense.
This is your chance to be like, hey, I'm Stacy, and I love the Internet of Things. Here's some crazy visuals about that, and you should hire me because of this. And then the resume will be like, oh, and I did all this boring stuff too.
Do that one more time.
Okay, y'all.
I was just trying to trick you into a GIF or a GIF, you know.
So you remember the police officer who played a Taylor Swift song when somebody was recording their interaction with him, thinking that would mean he couldn't put it on YouTube because it would get a takedown notice. Remember that guy?
Yeah, that old chestnut.
The video now has 708,000 views. And the anti-police terror project from all the publicity now has 1.1 million subscribers.
Just growing.
So maybe that's not the best strategy.
Maybe he should have done, what's that Canadian band? Nickelback. That would have done it.
Or Metallica. Metallica would have taken him down.
Look, the deputy even says, you can record all you want. I just know it won't be posted to YouTube because of their copy protection.
Plus, the protesters were great. They didn't go overboard. They just let it roll and let it roll.
It looks like they're bringing him coffee. Well,
if I remember, it was due to someone having a scuffle with the police, and I believe they lost their life, and they had mental health issues, and these people were out there to show support for the family and peacefully protest, and they had a banner up, and the police said, you need to take that banner down, and it's just a mess, bunch of mess.
Well, don't play Taylor Swift music. It's not going to help. In fact, it might even get them more views and
it
more
amplified
attention.
It basically, right?
Yeah. So they call it the
Streisand
effect. Exactly.
Oh, right.
Exactly.
Right.
Whoops.
Has Taylor had any response?
Oh, I'm sure she loves it. Maybe.
Well, Taylor doesn't talk a lot about those kind of things. She wades very judiciously.
Yeah, but when she does, stand back.
Yeah.
She got involved in Georgia, and it made a big difference. So, yeah. By the way, Mozilla's done a little study about YouTube regrets. They did a survey of 37,000 YouTube users.
It's funny and sad.
It's funny and sad. The headline is that people who the regretted seeing videos most likely watch those videos because of YouTube's recommendation engine.
Yeah.
So
that fits.
Yeah. We wouldn't have seen it otherwise,
that's one of the core conversations I have with my daughter, which is you can't unsee things.
Yeah.
So be very judicious on, and we talked about the algorithms and what they feed up, so you can be kind of aware.
So this was an interesting, they made an extension, the Mozilla Regrets Reporter browser extension for Firefox and Chrome. That's how they got so many reports between July 2020 and May 2021. And I guess when you saw a video you regretted seeing, you were supposed to click it and they'd say why. Most of the videos people regret watching come from recommendations. YouTube recommends videos that violate their own policies. Non-English speakers are hit the hardest. And of course, YouTube regrets can alter people's lives forever. They say, and I kind of agree with this, urgent action must be taken to rein in YouTube's algorithm. It's their secret sauce, but I think they could maybe do a better job.
Always true, but we also
and
need
then on
data.
the other end of that spectrum, you have a YouTube user such as myself that loves the way it serves up content for me.
Do you have the autoplay turned on and you'll just let it go?
Most of the time.
Interesting.
And I even watch it downstairs on the TV, because I get a lot of good content.
I do notice that is one of the big ways young people watch YouTube is they'll put it on the TV and let it roll.
Yeah.
And
I also do likes and dislikes on certain videos that don't necessarily hit the mark for me. But most of the time, the content that's served up to me is pretty topical or pretty funny or
so
just
you
right
have
up my
no
alley.
YouTube regrets?
None. Not yet, anyway.
Uh-oh, Aunt.
Not yet, anyway.
It's coming for you.
How about you, Stacey? Any YouTube regrets? How about for your daughter?
I don't have autoplay turned on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have autoplay turned on for that reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen some things that
I have seen the best minds of my generation go down the tubes on YouTube.
There's so many memes that are out there that I've never even heard of. And when I do see them, I'm like late to the party. And I think that's just algorithmic, because I don't.
They know that you're
that stuff out.
Yeah. I haven't watched YouTube recommend. I haven't done that. Let it play through in ages.
Yeah, same here.
I almost always go to like I just did. I was looking for a specific video. I very rarely will just turn on YouTube and let it play through. I should try that.
But maybe that's just we're busy. Is that what it is? Like young people
or old.
Like time?
Yeah. Because I still watch
refreshed.
TV. See, so that's the difference. It's not that I'm busy, I think, Stacey, for me. Because I watch TV.
Right, that's where
young people watch TV, but they don't watch Netflix or Amazon Prime. They're watching YouTube. At least I see my 18-year-old and my 26-year-old. That's what they do. They just and I bet you that's true of your hardheads. They just turn on YouTube.
They turn on YouTube, and every now and then they'll go to one of those subscription services because there's a particular series that they want to watch. But most of the time, it's just YouTube content. I just reloaded my YouTube page right now, and the first things that pop up, it's a Photoshop tutorial, MKBHD.
They know you so well.
Wanda Sykes comedy, because I watch a lot of stand-up comedians. And here's a hands-on photography video. Here's Alex Lindsay. Here's a Clemson replay. It gets me.
All right. That's a good exercise. Let me look at what YouTube recommends for me. TWiG. The Sudoku for people who don't like Sudoku. Mac Break Weekly.
Boy, you are boring.
Another Sudoku video.
Oh, geez.
A woodcock luring
How do you do a Sudoku
worms.
video? Wait. Hold on right there.
Sudoku
How do you
video.
possibly make a video out of Sudoku?
Well, Jeff,
How?
It's fascinating. Actually, this channel.
I thought people making them play video games was boring.
This channel
goes so far beyond.
Cracking
You think that adds up to 9?
12-time reigning Sudoku champ. And he makes Sudokus. It's fascinating.
Wednesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. I couldn't remember what day.
It's really good. I like it.
Oh, Leo, you.
I don't have any YouTube regrets.
I don't have a life, but that's still pretty funny, though. That's still pretty funny.
Here's, for some reason, a Nintendo Switch game, Zelda Skyward Sword HD. Chess. Office Hours. Renee Ritchie's Apple ecosystem. How Amy Webb beat her insomnia.
There you go.
Here's some more Sudoku. How to set a classic Sudoku.
Wow.
That's show title.
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of Sudoku. Yesterday,
I like to watch tic-tac-toe videos on YouTube. Sometimes somebody's really going to win in a surprising way.
None of this is objectionable, actually. I think YouTube has done an excellent job.
It's just really boring.
No, it's once you start watching, they'll stay.
Oh.
Or they start.
So if I watch one.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Let's watch a Sudoku video and see what it recommends next.
No. They're long videos, as you might imagine.
Well, no, you'll see on the right hand what it would recommend next.
Here, let's see the calculus. This is only 49 minutes. It's pretty quick. The calculus of Sudoku.
Within your page, it'll have what's next.
Where would I see that? Over here?
It's usually below.
I don't know. Why don't you see that? I always see that.
Maybe it's too big. Maybe if I make it a little smaller, I'll see more. I'm in my theater mode.
Theater mode, yeah.
How do I get out of theater mode?
Watch a video to tell you how.
I need a video on how to get out of theater mode.
Hover to the bottom right of the video.
It's a button at the bottom of the video.
There you go.
Yeah, my mini player, theater mode, full screen. That's theater mode.
Wow.
I don't get any recommendations because I'm happy watching this video.
They know
about Sudoku.
You're monomaniacal.
Actually, I'm not kidding. This is my recommendation for the week. The Cracking the Cryptic channel. And I'm not alone. 372,000 people agree.
That's awesome.
It's the best place for Sudoku videos.
Oh, jeez.
It's very soothing. If you didn't want to be alone in your house, you could have that playing in the background.
I don't think we're getting Sudoku shaming here, and I want
an audit of your suitcase to Hawaii. How many Sudoku books you're taking with you?
I don't need a book. I've got the Cracking the Cryptic app, which has some excellent Sudoku. I wrote a Sudoku solving program, you know.
Oh, boy. Tell us more.
Why did you like to see it?
What scripting language did you use?
I wrote it in Racket. It's not a scripting language.
Is
but
chat going crazy now with Sudoku shaming?
Oh, there's nothing wrong. Sudoku is mathematics. It's good. It's good for your brain. It's good for you.
Cool.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm just not good at it.
No, it's fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, you like mocking me. I know.
You don't like mocking me.
I don't mock you. I tell the truth about you.
Because I don't watch YouTube that much, it has very little to go on. So I'm still getting
What is it recommending for you?
I'm getting Olive and Mabel videos, which I liked back in the day. The two dogs. It's funny, but I haven't watched Nathan.
Oh, I get those too, Jeff.
I get Twit. This is funny. I don't watch this. I should watch this. Duolingo for talking to children. SNL.
Oh, that's an SNL. Yeah.
I get Pamplemousse. We both like Pamplemousse. I get Chrome Unboxed, showing me every new Chrome book.
Sounds fitting.
Boston Dynamics for this show.
It probably is a fairly telling, indicator of who you are. Here's Anthony Nielsen's recommendations from the Discord. Marquez Brownlee's iPad OS 15 review. We've got something from Twit.
That makes sense.
Doom Eternal, The Hanging Gardens of Babylon. He's watching a documentary. What's the Deal with Avengers Campus from Offhand Disney. Amazing Abandoned Home with Infinity Pool. There's some music. And Fast and Furious 9. Let me explain. So that
Golden
pretty much
retriever shocked by kitten occupying his bed. That's on my list. That's a nice thing.
So you got a lot of pets.
I have lots of husky content.
Husky content.
Dramatic huskies argue.
Yeah.
Anything like that.
I don't know why you don't see what's next on here. So the next thing I have is compilation with dogs that have done wrong. Guilty dogs.
maybe I have autoplay turned off or something. Maybe.
And then I have Martin Short impersonates Betty Davis.
These are all good. See, this is
all
the
that
thing.
Sounds like you.
YouTube. We talk a lot about the crap on YouTube and the radicalization and stuff, but everything we've seen here is really great. I mean, it's great.
Yes.
It's stuff that you wouldn't see on any other medium.
And that's my argument is I think the algorithm is going to work for you as long as you continue to feed it. If you're scrolling through and you happen to just pause on that dog fight on the screen, it's probably going to give you more dog fights. Just like the memes and stuff like that. There are people that look for that type of
Oh, wait a minute. I was
content.
in the wrong. I was in subscriptions. I'm going to go to Explore.
Okay.
So those are all things I've subscribed to.
Just hit the homepage.
That's
all I did.
That's how boring he is. He subscribed. He just recommended. He subscribes to Sudoku videos.
When I hit the homepage, it goes to my subscriptions. But if I go to Explore, these are recommendations, right? Here's IKEA hacks. A lot of home decor stuff. I don't. Here's City Girls, the Twerkulator official video.
Okay.
Ariana Grande. Nintendo Switch, the world's fastest Big Mac ever eaten. Wait a minute, I got to watch that.
Oh, no, those are all trending because I have
those
a
are
lot
trending?
of Switch in.
Oh.
Those aren't your home. Your home was the one you were on.
That's just my subscriptions, though. I mean,
no, it's
so hit the red premium button at the top. That's what I clicked on. And
then I get my
and it takes you straight to subscriptions. Yeah. Interesting.
Mine doesn't do. Well, maybe I don't have. No, I have subscriptions.
Man, it must be a setting, huh?
My daughter.
When I watch a video, it has what's next.
I watch.
Yeah, I don't have any of that stuff, so I'm
and I pay.
It's Linux.
It's Linux. Oh, it might be that. You know what? It might be because I got Firefox blocking. Yeah, maybe Firefox is blocking something YouTube needs.
Oh, I wish. See, the problem here is that I think that YouTube is spying on me because now I have hilarious, dramatic husky throws a temper tantrum in my feed.
Ooh.
Oh well, no, you should have that because it's part of the golden retriever dog thing.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
all right. I was afraid they were.
I feel
listening to us.
Oh yeah, that's I
somebody in Mountain View was quickly typing in add huskies.
He likes huskies.
I just had to explain that to somebody not just yesterday actually. It was my facial.
Here's my favorite recommendation from Instagram. Mark Zuckerberg riding a foil board to the music of John Denver, waving the American flag. I'm going to turn John Denver off.
So you don't get,
because, So.
Doesn't he have a person tell why? He has people who have to tell him that this is.
Stacey, at least he didn't have sunscreen on this time.
And it's sad.
Y'all.
It's really sad. The very first message I see on here is, I know for a fact you saw my DM, Mr. Zuckerberg. It's disrespectful to ignore people's messages. I'm also like 78, so respect your elders, mate. Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg does not want your direct message, I promise you. That's like, people are confused in the world about this. But maybe they're confused because they see Mark Zuckerberg floating in the air on a hoverboard.
I want to see the other side and see how big the film crew was to capture this.
Right. That's it's funny. That's what Alex Lindsay said. He said, I know what it's like if you're a CEO of a major corporation. None of this is unplanned. All of this.
That's why I don't get this. Why did they? Who were they talking to?
Who thought this was a good idea?
Well, no, I just.
Nothing says America like riding a hoverfoil in some lake.
Well, I mean,
with the American
message
flag.
that he's crafting, where he's putting, like all of this, I'm just like, who is the intended audience for this thing? Because it's definitely not me. And it's definitely not like kids my daughter's age.
Nope, it's not for teenagers.
Who is it for? Yeah.
You know what?
It's for those kids who bullied him in middle school, and say, "Look at me, I can ride this one."
Rich.
Just like there was a story out today that Bezos in an earlier office building used to insist on running up 14 flights of stairs. It's all these nerds and wimps who are proving themselves now.
I did like that. I mean, look how ripped he is as a result.
Yeah, he is. See, it works.
I think this is interesting. Norway has passed a law that requires influencers to label their photos on Instagram if they've been retouched. Because
interesting.
Isn't that interesting? Not because they have some, devotion to the integrity of the photo, but because they're concerned that people are judging themselves based on the body types of people they see on Instagram.
Will they require the same thing out of Vogue magazine and People magazine, where every photo is retouched?
No,
a lot of those magazines actually have gone into voluntary standards around retouching.
That's good. Advertisements where a body's shape, size, or skin has been retouched, even through a filter before a photo is taken, will need a standardized label designed by the Norwegian Ministry of Children and Family Affairs. Now, they're saying advertisements. But I guess if you're an influencer, anything you post is kind of an ad. Is that it?
Mm-hmm. So I'm a teenager. I have a zit on my nose. And why not let me get rid of the zit on my nose?
Okay, hold on. They want you to say it because a lot of the people we've grown, we now understand that magazines alter images too. We've had so many conversations about that. A lot of influencers they're selling their authenticity.
Yeah.
So if you think about them selling that this is their actual life, it's the same reason why the FTC made them put like sponsored on it, because
sponsored content.
Yeah. People thought they really liked this stuff.
The Norwegian word is kroppspress, which is literally body pressure. The proposal is if you post and get paid for that post on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and Twitter, and your photo has enlarged lips, narrowed waists, exaggerated muscles, then you need to label it.
So the stars get to do this, and the real people don't. I remember when my partner at the launches of EW and at Condé Nast and Epicurious, the brilliant Joan Feeney, sat me down one day and said, Jeff, why is there a fragrance credit for the cover photo on Vogue?
I don't know.
It's because somebody paid for that.
It's an ad.
Yeah.
Right? It's an ad. And, we look at how things are manipulated in all ways, visually and otherwise, in media. And so, but we leave them alone. But now the real people get a chance to maybe live a little bit differently. Maybe photo touching is my version of cosplay or something. But I get the points about saying love yourself as yourself, but it's also about imagining yourself differently. And now this has all been made to be something that's bad for you and wrong, and maybe it's not.
You just have to label it.
By the way, according to the Norwegian daily newspaper, the regulation has been positively received by a number of influencers in Norway. One even arguing that it should apply to all retouched photos. I mean, I think that's the direction I would go, is make everyone be labeled.
Meanwhile, how pink am I in my video today? Is it better?
Yeah, it is.
I've used my app to change it. Yeah, I see.
We're going to have to put a label on there. Can you get that going, John? Just, photo retouch.
Jeff is normally a brighter shade of pink.
New mixed effect.
Our show today brought to you quite literally by CashFly. CashFly is our CDN, our content delivery network. We've been using them for more than 10 years. I remember it was really a struggle in the early days of the podcasts to get these shows to people. Downloading from a web page just was inconsistent. We tried BitTorrent for a while. Matt Levine, the founder of CashFly, called me and said, Leo, let me help. And he did. And thank you. We love CashFly. They're now offering something new. This is really cool. Ultra low latency streaming. We're not talking WebRTC. No, this is something much better. Stream delays less than 1 second. There are lots of perks. You can play anywhere. They have a great HTML5 player, which has an SDK, so you could put it on mobile, wherever you need the player to run websites, applications, any platform. And of course, because CashFly has over 50 points of presence all over the world, they're the real global CDN, the fastest CDN for throughput globally. Your video streams will be streaming quickly anywhere you have viewers, doesn't matter where they are, what continent they're on this amazing low latency network. And it scales. Man, does it scale. More than 1 million users concurrently. You can ingest thousands of synchronous streams, transmux them simultaneously with live failover. They can ingest RTMP, RTMPS, SRT, and more to deliver ultra-low latency SLDP and HLS streams, and they can do it all simultaneously at the same time. Plus, they could tailor a solution to meet your unique needs. If you're looking to stream as many as 1 million concurrent streams today, you need to check out CashFly. And of course, I can vouch for their excellent priority support 24/7, 365 days a year. They're always there when you need them. And because of their reliable throughput and scalability, they're up to 5 times faster than other CDNs and the most reliable CDN in the world, backed by a 100% SLA. I can vouch for that too. We've never had a problem with CashFly in all these years. They're great people, great corporate citizens. They've raised $50,000 for World Central Kitchen. They were the first to pioneer Anycast CDN infrastructure way back when in 2002. Their best hop technology automatically finds the fastest route to and from customer origin across their global network of POPs for maximum performance and reliability. We're talking CashFly. Want to know more? See if they can even save you as much as 20% over your CDN, or just how a CDN can help you. Bring your current CDN bill or your usage trends to twit.cashfly.com. Find out if you're overpaying. Find out if you're getting all you deserve. Go to the CDN we use. It really, really works. twit.cashfly.com. We thank you, CashFly, for all these years. Facebook is also testing, this is just a test, a prompt that asks you if you're worried about your friends becoming an extremist. Are you concerned that someone you know is becoming an extremist? We care.
Panic.
We care about preventing extremism on Facebook. Others in your situation have received confidential support.
What? Wait. What is that? Others have received confidential support? What does that mean?
Then okay, I'll tell you why. I'll give you an example. We have a family friends, very nice people. She's a teacher. Her husband has recently fallen down the QAnon hole. Terribly. So bad, so incredibly that it's become a massive problem. So if she were to see this, it would be support for her, right? But it is also
that there's help you can get.
Help you can get. No, but it would also
Facebook had offered help to others.
No, the alert also redirects the user to a support page that says, another alert says, violent groups try to manipulate your anger and disappointment. You can take action now to protect yourself and others. Also going to a support page. The company is directing users to a variety of resources, including Life After Hate, an advocacy group that helps people leave violent far-right movements. I don't think it's a bad idea. I wonder how they know that, is everybody going to see this, or do they know somehow that you're being exposed to extremist content, or somebody you know is?
Well, who define extremist, and do they do a good job of it? A,
right.
And B, what's the date on modified? Yes.
Yeah.
Modified, but better, always better. That's a visual cue, folks.
That's good. Thank you, John.
That's good. That's good.
It's a little bug that says modified.
I think
maybe it should be more clear, like, Mr. Jarvis's photo has been modified to improve his appearance. How about that?
And it didn't work. And he's pissed about it. And he keeps trying. And John never gives him the right settings for the app, so I can look like a human being. Damn it!
You look
That's all
great.
I want to do.
You're a little underexposed, right? Well, give him some tips here, Aunt Pruitt. You're the photographer.
Yeah, he is just a touch underexposed.
A little underexposed.
Needs more fill light.
That's the problem, because his face is blown out, but the rest of the room is dark. So we need to really. Maybe it's all that white around his face. Oh, that's perfect.
That's better.
Go. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Leave it there.
Jeff, I once read
changes. Sorry, Stacey.
That is the problem. The sun is moving.
The sun is changing. You heard it here first.
The sun is changing.
The sun is staying in exactly the same spot. We're moving. Go ahead, Stacey.
That's true. Now I have no idea.
Galileo.
Never mind.
Galileo. Figaro.
Yeah, moving right along.
I'm sorry. You were actually doing a real story until I went off on this.
I forgot. Did I mention Wally Funk? No, I don't think so.
I think I would have remembered.
Got the funk.
We got the funk. She is going with Jeff Bezos and his brother into space aboard the New Shepard rocket, July 20th. She will be the oldest person ever to reach space. Wally Funk. Actually, an interesting story about Wally Funk. She was chosen to be a member of the Mercury 13. Remember, the Mercury project was the first orbital project. And the Mercury astronauts were chosen to go into space. There were 13 women in that program who were denied because at the time NASA's requirement was that you be a fighter pilot, and there were no female fighter pilots. So
that was an easy excuse to get rid of the women.
Yeah, no kidding. So she was trained, she was ready, but was never allowed to go into space.
This is a cool story.
She became a FAA inspector, a well-known pilot. Here's the video of Wally Funk, 82 years old, with Jeff Bezos.
For 4 minutes. You come back down. We land gently on the desert surface. We open the hatch, and you step outside. What's the first thing you say?
I will say, honey, that was the best thing that ever happened to me.
And she gives him a big hug.
I've been flying forever, and I have 19,600 flying hours.
Go ahead.
I have taught over 3,000 people to fly, private, commercial, instrument, flight engineer, airline transport, gliding, everything that the FAA has, I've got the license for. and I can outrun you.
Up 14 stairs, flights of stairs. Let's just see, Wally.
Program. They asked me, "Do you want to be an astronaut?" I said, "Yes." They told me that I had done better and completed the work faster than any of the guys. So I got a hold of NASA 4 times. I said, "I want to become an astronaut," but nobody would take me. I didn't think that I would ever get to go up.
She's remarkably rage-free in this particular.
Yeah, no
kidding.
kidding.
Do that.
Yeah.
I said, "Guess what? Doesn't matter what you are. You can still do it if you want to do it." And I like to do things that nobody has ever done.
We're going to fly you up into space on the very first flight. That's your
I can't tell people.
I want to hang out with her.
So NASA wouldn't do it,
I feel
but Amazon would. Jeff
by
Bezos
Blue
would.
Origin to go on this trip.
You're going to be an astronaut.
Oh, finally!
Isn't that awesome?
I'll love every second of it.
I want to take her to the gym with me.
I can hardly wait.
That is,
Dude, Aunt, she can outrun you, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to take her to the gym with me. She'd get me fired.
Isn't that great? Isn't that
love
great?
that.
And then there's I'm sad to say, Virgin Atlantic's CEO, who has decided, Richard Branson has decided that Jeff Bezos will not be the first billionaire in space, and he's going to go up.
It's like a week before, right?
earlier. Yeah,
this is a fairly offensive race. No,
it's a little offensive. The flight of the billionaires.
Space yachts.
But, you know, I was mocking this a little bit, but now that I saw that Wally Funk story, I thought, yeah, that's pretty good, Jeff. Good job.
That's awesome.
Good job.
Whoever arranged that, Mark Zuckerberg, hire that person.
Yeah, that's good PR.
That's the way to do this.
Yeah, because no one's going, yeah, Jeff Bezos, this is a great idea that you're going to spend lots of money to go into space. There's,
Yeah.
But I'll be carrying a flag.
Yeah. Yeah. And in that case, I'm kind of happy that Mark Zuckerberg just did it on a hoverboard and not in a rocket ship. Let's play the drums because it's time for the Google changelog. The Google
changelog. Are we sure we have anything in it? No.
Barely anything in it. Just very light.
The Google box is empty.
There is a new Google Drive for desktop app. Google Photos upload multi-account too, which is kind of cool. It's rolling out now. There you go. The new Google Drive for desktop. Google keeps changing. Remember, it was Google. I think it was originally Google Drive, and then it became Backup and Sync. Now it's back to Google Drive, and they are.
I think mine still says Backup and Sync.
Yeah. So now it'll be a Google Drive for desktop, automatic photos upload as well. Yeah, Google. Good going. Thanks. You go, girl. Google Fuchsia has a new logo.
Surprised they didn't rename it.
Yeah. It's
I think Fuchsia's a good name.
Yeah.
Well, lots of things they have are good names. They
not
just
a great color. So this is
Fuchsia's hot pink. Fuchsia's an amazing color.
This is the old logo is in hot pink. The new logo is black and it's a Mobius strip. So I don't know. Or is it a Mobius strip?
That's just stupid. No. Well,
thank you.
If your logo's a color, it needs to be the color.
And thank you for joining the team.
Well, maybe that's just the black and white version.
Google
That's
app
charitable, Stacy.
Google app beta loses built-in browser and returns to Chrome custom tabs for now. Don't know what that means.
So Google keeps returning to things they used to have. Can we get back Reader then?
Yeah.
Well, when you do the search, it opens up in its own little browser.
Right.
And it's not very functional.
So
okay. Well,
I like this idea of going back.
Go back to the old ways. Google Meet, finally, that app that you use for all your serious business meetings has added filters and fun masks, so you too can be stuck like a cat in your next court hearing. Woo!
I'm not a cat.
Be a cat. Let's see. Styles. Do I have to log in? No. New meeting. Okay, let's create a meeting. Start an instant meeting. Allow. Allow. Everybody can join the meeting. There it is. Allow. Okay, there's that. Now, where's my fun stuff? Where's my fun things? I don't see anything. Nothing. Well, maybe it hasn't rolled out yet.
It's a forthcoming
You sound
change.
so cranky.
Nothing. I got nothing. I got a picture of the ceiling. That's it. All right. Before somebody gets in there and moons us. Thank you. I've closed the meeting. It's over. The July security patch is rolling out to Google Pixel. Get it?
Oh, that's big news.
Big news. It happens every month.
And that's
the Google change law.
It couldn't end quickly enough.
So sad. So disappointed. Okay.
It's a Google-less week.
It really, they took the week off. Did you?
I mean, a lot of, yeah.
I don't. You know what? I'm done here.
He's like, okay.
Oh, he can't wait for vacation.
I'm going on vacation.
He's like, man,
I'm done. I'm done here.
Right now.
I could talk about meat grown in Israeli bioreactors.
You could talk about Alexa being a rotten name to have these days.
Well, that is true. That is true. But the problem with that story, I was going to talk about it on Twit too. I realized I couldn't talk about it without saying the name over and over again.
Madam A.
Should Amazon rename Madam A? The problem, a new report from BBC details how the parents of children named Madam A, see, there's the problem, are challenging Amazon to change or remove Madam A as a wake word for its devices. Children called Madam A and they should be, reportedly being bullied for sharing a name with the voice assistant. Some with other children, and in some cases teachers, issuing them commands like they would a smart assistant. That's so mean. Set a timer. I told you to set a timer. A spokesperson with Amazon has reached out to Tech Radar, which posited perhaps this is time to change the name, with this statement saying, "We designed our voice assistant to reflect qualities we believe we value in people, being smart, considerate, empathetic, and inclusive. We're saddened by the experiences you've shared and want to be very clear."
Leo's using his Sudoku voice for an Amazon spokesperson. I don't think that's true.
I'm sorry.
I don't think so.
I'm sorry.
No. They have better things to do.
We're saddened by the experiences you've shared and want to be very clear. Bullying of any kind is unacceptable, and we condemn it in the strongest possible terms.
But we're not going to do a darn thing about it.
As an alternative to Madam A,
you can use computer.
We also offer several other wake words customers can choose from, including Echo, computer, and Amazon. You know what? I named my kid Computer. I don't like that. We value feedback from customers, and as with everything we do, we will continue to look for ways to offer them more choice in this area.
Yeah, the issue isn't that.
What are you going to do?
You know what?
What are you going to do?
Yeah, the kids are just going to have to.
Chuck it up. Though I have to respect,
no different from
Apple
the
chose
DM from the 78-year-old to Zuckerberg. Same thing.
Yeah, but you know what? Siri isn't a person's name. Hey Google isn't a person's name. It's only Amazon that has this problem, right? Are there kids named Siri?
There are. Siri is a name.
Well, yes, there's a famous one. Tom Cruise's daughter, isn't
he? Named his daughter Siri?
Well, before there was
these
a Siri.
things. I mean,
Tom's mad.
Before there was an iPhone.
Understandably, Tom's a little angry.
I mean, but
Amazon offers
these things
solutions.
happen.
What are you going to do? Well, I don't think we should. I think going forward, let's not give people's names to voice assistants. It's the same thing.
But
you don't name a dog Fred or Barney. You name him Rags or,
Our dog is named Sophie.
Ours is named Alicia. Our cat. You got a problem with that? Huh?
Yeah. Let's talk about it, huh?
But then there's Biscuit.
Biscuit. Perfect name for a dog. That's what a dog Dog names should not be human names. You don't want to be going to the park. You go, hey, Alicia, and some person comes over. That's no good.
But it also looks a little bit weird if I go outside and start yelling, hey, Biscuit, come here.
No, that's normal. You know it's a dog. Immediately, you know it's a dog. Rover, you know it's a dog. Are we upset that Amazon is using bots to fire people?
I'm not upset.
Kind of. I think it's. No, I was just going to say it just feels like the extension of the worst, like most immutable employment policies. And you see this across low wage jobs. Maybe it's not a bot. Maybe it's just like a set of rules. And if you deviate them, even for like humane or normal reasons, you're still fired.
This is in the same category as saying it shouldn't be a person's name, kind of. I mean, the guy is fired by email. That's bad. But he's a contract driver. He got an automated email. The algorithms tracking him had decided he wasn't doing his job properly. The 63-year-old Army veteran was stunned. He'd been fired by a machine.
But workforce management is common practice in the enterprise.
Yeah.
There's always some type of reports being run all day, every day to figure out who's doing what, why they're doing it, how long it's taking them to do it, especially if it's like in the service industry.
I don't know if
it is what it is.
Is it any better to have some guy come down from the home office to say, I'm sorry, we're letting you go? It's bad enough. It says
you're a human being.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
At least appreciate enough of you. I mean, like...
Same reason you don't break up with your fiance via text.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
He's now turned the Sudoku person into a mean person who fires people. Breaks up.
I don't have that many voices, Jeff. I have to reuse.
But also the algorithm still has to make sure it's within decent range and not just randomly firing someone because they missed two deliveries this day in the middle of a hurricane or something like that.
Some say that the automated system is insufficiently attuned to real-world challenges drivers face every day. It's just metrics, right?
I think
you didn't deliver 150 packages, it's the same thing, I'm sure, in the warehouses. It's all based on stats. But
computers should assist managers, not take them over.
Yeah.
And there's reasons that you say, I see somebody has potential or they had a bad week.
You can even say professors are like that. Like
algorithms?
Yeah. Like I've had professors where, you'd be like, let's say you're no deaths, nothing. I don't want your sob stories. I just want the paper in, at this time, which, okay. But, that's, I think it's a little.
That professor wouldn't have done very well in the pandemic, I'll tell you for sure.
A lot of professors in the pandemic apparently were like that. And even teachers, they were just like.
We had a couple of teachers like that that did not. Really? And I really gave them some slack because nobody was happy teaching via Zoom. And especially imagine teaching teenagers via Zoom. That's really hard. So I gave them a little more slack than maybe I would have otherwise.
But the teacher should give the students slack.
And I agree. Yeah. It's just hard for this was a hard time for everybody, right?
Extend some grace, people.
Yes. Give us some slack. As what was that? The guy with the pipe, Bob would say. The Church of the. What was that? The Church of the.
This is too old even for me.
This is out of my age bracket.
You don't know about the Church of the Subgenius?
I don't know if this is out of my age bracket or just out of like the world as I know it.
I am J.R. Bob Dobbs. Was a prophet of the church.
About.
No, yeah.
What church?
The Church of the Subgenius.
Oh.
Where if you become perfect at Sudoku, you go to heaven.
There's no Sudoku in heaven. I hope there's Sudoku in heaven.
There's no math in heaven.
That would be good.
There's
no math in heaven.
Oh, boy.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, your picks of the week, picks, numbers, all of that stuff. Let me, as always, I think I should start with Stacey Higginbotham, she of the Eternal Waffle.
The Eternal Waffle. I like that. Okay, first of all, I stuck a update.
It's a church, Our Lady of the Eternal Waffle. I like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, I like that. Yes. I do worship at Our Lady of the Eternal Waffle.
Waffles. I'm telling you, communion waffles. You'll get converts from all over.
All right, I want to say, Stacey, this is actually pretty. I was a little skeptical about the new nanoleaf element that you showed us a couple of weeks ago. Here's your setup. It looks pretty nice.
And I have since established a cord organizer.
Yeah, because that's Lisa would make me drill a hole in the wall, drop it down through the gap, and that's a pain. But
I got plenty of people recommended that to me, and I'm like, I know. Right now, I just organized it. If I
think that's pretty. So does the texture change, or what changes? The color, the light. You don't have a video of this?
No, I can take you out and show it to you.
Come on.
You're gonna
trip.
travel with me.
Road trip on This Week in Google. Let's go somewhere with Stacey.
Audio's going to change.
That's okay. We don't. Just shout.
This is a visual clue, as they say.
No one else will get to see that.
Yes. Phrase this as a question. Oh, no, she's frozen.
Uh-oh. No, she's frozen.
Yeah. She unplugged it from something.
And Zoom comes back in 3.
Okay.
There we go.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Yep.
Stacey Higginbot.
Turn my video off.
It's a Higginbot. We got a Higginbot on.
Okay. What's happening? Oh, I see. My video went away.
There we go. Perfect.
There we
go.
Look at
that. I got to get to a good angle. Come on.
You don't have to be in the shot. How about that?
No, it's good.
Well, I mean, it's my computer.
It's right.
It's a laptop.
I see. That is really pretty.
And it's a hallway, so I can't.
And it's cycling through. It looks like it's a molecule or something. The nanoleafs are independent sexagons, right?
There we go.
6-sided
hexagons.
Hexagons. Oh no, it's 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6.
No, there's 6 sides.
6 sexagons, and they light up independently. They're attached to one another.
Is there a pattern you set, or?
This is one of their preset patterns. I didn't bring my phone. Hold on.
Hexagon. That's the word I was trying to remember. Thank you, not sexagons, dummy.
I thought you said hexagon. Yeah, I would have told you.
I have said it now. Thank you to the chat room. Who are clearly better in their Latin than I am. Hexagons, and you could have it. Is there an audio sensor? Could you have it bounce to the music?
Yes, I'm about to do it here. We're going to do something to...
Okay.
Phone. Sorry.
Is it a hexagram or a hexagon? What's the difference between a hexagram and a hexagon, or a pentagram and a pentagon? That's the question.
A pentagram has 5. A hexagon has 6.
Yeah, but what's the difference between hexagram and a gon? The pentagram is a symbol.
Oh, yeah, here it is. So now it's reacting to my voice.
Oh, that's neat. Will you look at those hexagons? Go. That's
by
great.
volume or timber or what?
It's here. Well, I'm about to set everything off. Sorry, there's so much light.
Oh, they're so bright. They're great.
Oh,
nice.
That didn't work.
Look at that.
I'll go here.
Hey, Biscuit. That's cool. I like because they look like natural materials. There's a little stony and slatey.
Yeah, they match my floor.
Yeah, that's really nice. That's really nice. All right, I like it. 2 thumbs up. That is Stacey's Sexagons.
Stacey's Sexagons, and
very nice. And it's the nano leaf element. If you want to know more, very nice. That's right outside your office?
So that whole setup, was $800 though. So know that.
Yeah, but how much for peace of mind?
Well, and it covered a huge space. It covers 7 feet by almost 4 feet.
Yeah. So you have, as they say, designed your personal oasis. It was very nice. Nanoleaf.me if you want more. Jeff, a number?
So 4.3 billion.
Holy
is the
cow.
number.
That's a big number.
That is the SPAC IPO number, the valuation now for Nextdoor, a company that never should have started because newspapers should have figured this out ages and ages ago, how to start this on their own. And they were too damn stupid, and they left open the opportunity. And folks came in and figured it out and did a much better job. I think it's very good. I had meetings with Nirav Tolia, that's his name, right? Who was the co-founder. I had meetings with them in a newspaper company years ago, and they kind of said, we don't really need the newspaper. You're just another marketing place. You'll manipulate it. I'm not so sure. They were right. So it's a SPAC from Vinod Khosla. They had received 270 million. I'm sorry, no, they raised over 270 million from venture capitalists, most recently at a $2.2 billion valuation, including Benchmark, Greylock, and Shasta. Now it's a $4.3 billion SPAC. And in the deck, they say that they are in 1 in 3 U.S. households, or rather the households are in Nextdoor. 60 plus million verified neighbors. This was the key.
Wow.
It was verified local identity. That was the whole thing. You had to have verified. You literally got a postcard of your house saying, yes, that's me.
I didn't have to do that when I joined.
If somebody else vouched for you. But if you tried to get in, they had a backup postal system.
Because they really want people to be members who are in the neighborhood.
Yes. And they've expanded pretty greatly the definition of neighborhood, but be that as it may, 27 million weekly active neighbors, or WANs. And yeah, I know. At least they don't have a company song. So I think it's an impressive company that's done well. And yes, some neighborhoods aren't as pleasant as other neighborhoods. And yes, there are jerks in the world, and some of them are on Nextdoor. But it's interesting. One of the things interesting to me was I think they tried to make themselves the unsocial network because they compared themselves differently to 82% of Nextdoor users did not visit Snap in the last month. 64% LinkedIn, 63% Twitter, 27% Facebook or Messenger, right? That they're trying to say our people are different people. They aren't in all those yucky places. It's just like Google saying, don't call us a platform. Don't mix us in with them. They got cooties. And so it's doing well. They have a CEO who was at Snap, Sarah Fryer, who replaced Nirav Tolia, and they're doing well. So congratulations to them. Should have been newspapers, but it wasn't.
I'm looking at my Nextdoor. Let's see. Here's somebody warning about a plumber who ripped her off. The mountain lion, has he been caught yet? Do we know? I don't know. Here's what to do if you encounter a mountain lion.
We get a lot of those too.
It says, offer any handy small children, run away while lion eats. Wait a minute. Okay, you can't trust everything you read.
Smart.
Yes.
Don't have to be the fastest. Just
fireworks.
Have to be faster than the next person.
Hey, certain neighbors, thanks for setting off the illegal fireworks. My dog is now terrified. You are a selfish jerk.
Yeah, a lot of that on Twitter.
Yeah.
I think you're reading my Nextdoor. We have the mountain lion discussion. We have the fireworks.
It's probably very.
Discussion.
I would imagine they're all pretty similar. You get advertisements for homes for sale in your neighborhood, right?
We had a bunch of extra boxes. My wife went on Nextdoor and said, anybody want them? So I have to recycle them. And boom, somebody came and said, thanks. He saved us $40 in boxes. They just picked them up.
Yeah. Here's a fox eating somebody's chicken.
Man, them little punks are everywhere.
Yeah, they like chickens too. Mm-hmm. But so do I.
Well, if you were a fox, you would be in the chicken capital of the world, or US.
Exactly. Where else would you be?
Why they moved there?
Free moving boxes. Yeah, it's kind of boring, but it's kind of useful too.
That's the point. That's the point.
It's intentionally boring. 54% of my neighbors are on this. Actually, I think it's more than that. It says I have 144 neighbors. out of 166 households. So it sounds like almost everybody. There's at least one person from almost every household.
So when I started my neighborhood in Hurricane Sandy, they said, and I went for my street. We live on, because we're out here in the middle of nowhere next to Trump, golf course. There's only so many people I actually knew. They said, no, that's not enough neighbors. I said, well, if I get enough neighbors for what you want me to, I'm going 3 miles away. It's people I don't know, and you want me to verify people. And right. So they were kind of mixed up in the early days. And then now, indeed, it's a much broader area because they want enough interactivity. If you're in Silicon Valley, people have very active neighbors. Palo Alto is just insanely active. So that's all you need is part of Palo Alto. But in other areas, they expand it. They also expanded so you have your home neighborhood and then your vacation home neighborhood and then your work neighborhood or whatever else you want. But the secret to this was when I talked to Nirav Tolia, the co-founder, he said, I couldn't believe the newspapers didn't figure out that the whole point was verified identity, and social networks didn't figure out verified identity. And they found their niche and they built a huge company out of it.
Here's another interesting thing. You can see which of your neighbors, this is my area, and which of the neighbors are signed up. The green ones are signed up. The pink ones are not. So you can actually
social jerks.
Well, you can even see like, oh, hey, Peggy and Rolf aren't signed up. That's really interesting. You can see who is and who isn't signed up.
Maybe you should evangelize.
Yeah. Hey, Peggy, come on. So what do you think? Worth $4.3 billion? I guess it is. I mean, it's a real social network.
Yes.
Wait. Are we assuming the stock market's based on anything? Sure, it's worth.
Well, this is worse than the stock market. This is the SPAC market.
Well, the SPACs are for the stock market.
What's the difference between a SPAC and an IPO?
A SPAC is where private investors put the money up and then they merge with another company that's already public. It's kind of like a pipe.
A SPAC is like a pipe?
A pipe, please.
Oh.
What?
Sorry. A SPAC. So basically a SPAC is where you have a big public company, you have a big pool of investors or maybe one investor. And then they are a shell corporation that's already listed on the stock exchange, and then
so they've already gone public in effect, and by merging with them, you go public without all the hoorah.
Yeah, in a pipe. What did a pipe stand for? They were all the rage in like the pink sheets. Pipe. Oh, that's not going to help. Pipe financial industry.
I won't make you explain.
That's okay.
We
really didn't want to go
down this YouTube rabbit hole forever here.
Okay.
Have I explained how Sudoku can really be an entryway?
I'm sorry, you guys. You asked these questions.
No, you sufficiently answered the SPAC versus IPO.
Okay.
And why people want to do that, because it's faster and eliminates a lot of the regulatory paperwork.
Yeah, you could avoid a lot of SOX issue. Well, you still have to eventually have accounting, but yeah.
So once they're in this Khosla acquisition fund, they're now merged with this, so they're now technically public. People could buy stock in Nextdoor, right?
They'll buy a stock of the company that it is Nextdoor.
Right,
so
whatever they've named it. Yeah.
Whatever and it could become Nextdoor, but yes, but actually they won't be able to buy. They're not buying it at the IPO. They're just buying like publicly on the market.
Yeah.
So does that same fund, is it able to do this again, or no? It's one fund.
No, they have to create
now
a new
the company.
One. In fact, this fund,
they have to find a shell. Yeah.
This will help you understand. This is the particular name of this is something like Khosla Ventures SPAC number 2. Right. It's specifically designed to do for this purpose entirely. Interesting. And then
but you form it not knowing what you're going to SPAC.
You don't know ahead of time. And I guess, but the question is, where's the money flow from? It flows initially from the SPAC company buying Nextdoor, right?
No, it flows from private investors. So what happens is like maybe hedgies, maybe it's your best buddies that you met through LinkedIn. Y'all get your money together. You basically build this SPAC, which is the corporation. You find a publicly traded company. You buy said company, or a
non-publicly traded company, a private company. Oh no, you buy a publicly traded company to become public.
I don't know your order of operations. I think you create the pool of money, you find the public target, or you find the private target. I don't know which comes first in this situation.
So there are investors who put money into this. basically.
Yes. I mean, but in most of them know where, I mean, when you have this pool of money, you know what you're like. It's not like they're like a giant floating pool of money that's looking around. It's a giant floating pool of money they've had the discussions with Nextdoor already.
Okay. Right. All right. And then Stacey, so there was $270 million prior investment. That is a pipe, according to this. That's the money coming in. I already came into it. And whatever equity they had. The total valuation is $4.3 billion. How much money do we imagine? I don't see anything here of how much the Koshland company put in, and then I don't understand how that mixes, because when you do an IPO, you do it to get money. In this case, new money. In this case, is everybody who's involved selling off their equity to the public market? I don't understand how that works.
No. So what will happen is this is basically like a set of investors coming in and giving you, I'm just going to make up a number, $4 billion, right? So $4 billion goes to Nextdoor, and Nextdoor will work with them to take some of that money to do the deal to get them on the public market. And then the rest of that money is just liquidity for Nextdoor. So that could be, and then the stock that the Nextdoor people have, like their what are those called? Their shares and stuff like that. Eventually those should translate into the publicly, whatever the share, the exchange share price is to get on the market.
Can create more shares too. Right. Okay.
But but that's no different. Like when a company goes public anyway, when you do an IPO, the bankers and the people who buy into the IPO are going to, they only raise like $250 million. And what happens is when they go on the trading markets, they hopefully pop, right? And then suddenly they're worth $1 billion. And that's when your shares, if you're a person who has shares in that company and the employees and stuff, that's when you can start selling them and, accruing value.
After a wait period.
It's not at the actual IPO point.
Right.
That's when your investors sell their shares and get... Well, they just trade them in.
Yeah.
But what's the difference
it's
between
a liquidity
sheet
event down the road. Yeah.
What's the difference between a pink sheet and a fuchsia sheet?
Stop it. It is now time for Aunt Pruitt's.
Saturation and hue.
Now you're talking his language. Aunt Pruitt's pick of the week. Aunt?
Well, mine will not be as astute as our previous two picks here. Good grief. Have you ever heard of that movie, View from the Top?
Yeah, why do I know that name?
I'd heard of it, never seen it, but apparently it's at least a decade old. And
Gwyneth Paltrow. Yeah.
Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
Well, a friend of mine, Liana, said, I should check out Richard Ayoade's View from the Top on Audible, one of our sponsors. And it's a hilarious book about a movie I never saw. Basically, he's just retelling the movie in his own voice, different scenes, and just giving his own spin on it. And he throws in a couple of different...
You must like it a lot.
Oh, I love it. And then throw in a lot of some of his own personal stories and things like that. Like there's a scene in that movie that's shot for Christmas or whatever, and he starts to talk about his own experience with Christmas with his family, and having to clean up all day long with this mom, and having snacks with this dad, and how he now associates snack time with crying because his dad likes to have onions as a snack. So he makes some chopped up onions, and it was just a really, really funny book. I did eventually watch the movie not too long ago, and it just made that movie much more enjoyable for me.
Was it good?
Otherwise, I wouldn't have watched it.
Yeah,
it's a rom-com. I'm not into all of that.
So here's the question: should you watch the movie and then read the book, or should you read the book in the order you chose, which is read the book first and then
do the book first? Read the book first and then watch the movie.
Okay. She's a stewardess.
And if you watch the IT Crowd, you probably love Moss from the IT Crowd. That's who Richard Ayoade is.
Oh, of course.
He's so funny.
So it's a funny book.
Yes.
Yes. All right. And
my last pick of the week, this is just selfishly rooting for this young man. His name is Cy, and I put his tweet out there. He just got a scholarship offer from University of Nevada for football, and he hasn't committed to anything yet. But I'm selfishly rooting for this young man because he's the number one wide receiver on the football team, and my son happens to be the quarterback. So hopefully with his success, the son, Hardhead, will be able to get a little bit more success too. So.
Nice. All right. So we're rooting for him. Cy.
Go, Cy, go.
Go, Cy, go.
Go, Cy.
I remember View from the Top Now. Not a great movie.
Yeah, I would have never watched that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, but apparently he likes it a lot.
Oh, it was so funny just listening to his
I might have to. I think you're right. I think I'm going to listen to the book, not watch the movie again. And there you have it. 2 great picks from the great Aunt Pruitt, hands-on photography. What's coming up on Hop?
All right. So this week I get to sit down with Mr. David Bergman. He's a great photographer, concert photographer for 30 plus years in sports photography, and he's going to drop some knowledge on us this week. Looking forward to it.
Sports
Watch it
photography.
And share it, folks.
Yeah, that's a very technical field, concert and sports photography. Tough. So I will listen. That sounds very interesting. Thank you, Aunt Pruitt. Thank you, Stacey Higginbotham. StaceyOnIoT.com is her website. There's a great newsletter there. Check the events. And, of course, the IoT podcast she does with Kevin Toffel. Anything you want to plug?
No.
Nope. Okay.
Thank you.
Just Leo, didn't you have a Sudoku tip for us? Huh?
I actually, no. I did recommend one of the videos on that channel as being one of the best Sudoku videos ever.
And you would know.
And nobody else. Oh, no, 372,000 people, right?
Yeah. Let me see if I think I have a blog.
Oh no, I actually took it seriously. Oh no.
Just trying to remember. Yeah, it was kind of a while ago. Looking through my old blog posts to see if I can find it for you. No, I don't have a search on this blog.
It's okay.
No.
No.
Almost there. I've gone through, there it is. The Miracle Sudoku. 25 minutes that will blow your mind. Do you like Sudoku?
Please have this in the show notes.
This video will give you a visceral thrill.
I stayed awake for 25 minutes of this. I can't believe it. My mind is blown.
It's from the Crapping the Cryptic YouTube channel, which I subscribe to. And it actually... You really should watch this video because you will have a new appreciation for Sudoku and the Sudoku that could never be solved.
Hello, welcome to Sunday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic.
The eternal
you're all managing
Sudoku.
to stay safe during lockdown.
This guy, who's a Sudoku genius, a world champion solver, was sent this puzzle by his friend, his co-host on the show, and he said, I thought he was punking me.
Look out for that. A big thanks for the lovely responses we had to yesterday's celebration.
Look, trust me, it's the 25 minutes that will blow your mind, Jeff.
It's a very emotional video for us.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
I hope this is in the show notes because I will watch this, sir.
Yeah, well, it's on my blog.
From the couch.
From last May.
You're just sucking up to the boss there, Ant.
Yeah.
No.
Watch this on your couch.
We got to humor him on this Sudoku thing.
You got the wrong Aunt Pruitt, sir.
I'm putting it in the chat for you there, Ant.
Thank you kindly.
There you go. Jeff Jarvis, ladies and gentlemen, the director of the Town Knight Center for Entrepreneurial Journalism at the Newmark Graduate School of Journalism. The problem is, it's like dancing. We can't all lead at the City University of New York. Thank you, Jeff.
York.
Always a pleasure. Anything you want to plug? Buzzmachine.com, your blog? Anything? No. 25 minutes that will blow your mind? No. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We do This Week in Google of a Wednesday afternoon around about 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2100 UTC. If you want to watch us make the show, we have a live behind-the-scenes stream at twit.tv twit.tv/live. There's audio and video there. People who do watch live often like to chat with us live at irc.twit.tv. And of course, Club Twit's another way you can chat in our Discord server. Club Twit gives us the chance to take $7 out of your pocket every month to help defray the costs. Supports the network. It's a nice way to show your support, and you get some benefits. Besides the great Discord chat, you also get all of our shows ad-free, audio or video, your choice. You can listen to them all, watch them all. You can do both if you want, I guess. And there's also a Twit Plus feed with stuff that doesn't make it. Sometimes some of the best conversations happen before and after the shows. Those make it into the Twit Plus feed. So if you're interested, twit.tv/club twit. Thank you in advance. And I will now say a fond farewell to you all. I'm going to be in Hawaii next week. I'll be back in 2 weeks.
Does that mean we miss you for 2 weeks, or
no? Just 1 week.
Just 1 week.
I'll be back a week from Wednesday. Yeah. And of course, I'm doing Twit on Sunday. I'm not leaving until Monday. Thank you, everybody.
Because they're the ones you don't want to miss. You can miss.
This
no
show,
problem.
no big. No, I am missing a Twit. Actually. A week from Sunday, I'm missing. Jason Snell will be filling in.
It's just that he feels that we can handle it, Jeff.
That's right.
Ah, very good, Mom.
Are grown-ups.
Very good.
Well played.
That's the way to make the kids feel good about themselves.
So the Sudoku puzzle, the's only, he doesn't give him any clues at all. He's got to solve the whole thing.
Okay, I have to leave to pick up my daughter.
With just two numbers, the whole thing, following traditional. But there is one little thing. Any two cells separated by a knight's move or a king's move cannot contain the same digit. And any two orthogonally adjacent cells cannot contain consecutive digits. So there's a little extra rule that makes this the most interesting Sudoku puzzle you've ever
been such a revealing
seen.
show. Yeah.
It's definitely esoteric. I love it.
I'm telling you, watch the video. You will appreciate Sudoku. Actually, you won't, because if you don't understand Sudoku, the video makes no sense at all. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time on TWiG. Bye-bye.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you are interested in checking out all things smart home and Internet of Things, then you should check out Smart Tech Today, the podcast I, Micah Sargent, do with my co-host Matthew Casanelli. It's all about the smart home and improving your automations.